Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Five-Run. Today, I'm going to discuss about, one of the classification algorithm that is logistic regression. In the previous videos, we had seen linear regressions and also we had solved the linear regression problem with the Python code. And we had seen some of the problems which incorporated in the linear regression and we solve also with the help of the Rage lasso. In today's session, what we are going to discuss, let's see, let's highlight the today's agenda. In today's session we will discuss the logistic regression, then use cases of this logistic regression, then real life scenario, and logistic regression equation and accuracy matrix. What we had seen in case of linear regression, the same thing we are going to deal with this also. Now coming to this next, so now coming to the logistic regression. What is the logistic regression basically? So logistic regression is widely used to predict the binary class outcome. Means if you are going to deal with the multi-class problem, then that time might be this logistic regression will not fit. But logistic regression always a good fit for the binary class classification, right? So suppose you are going to, and what is the classification? That just I made a video on the classification. What is the classification and what are the use cases of classification? So if you are not able to understand what is the classification problem, then first go ahead with that video. Link you will get on the description. So I'm requesting to you, plus first go with the classification things. What is the classification, how it is working, then jump into this video, then it will be helpful for you. So logistic regression, first keep in your mind one thing: logistic regression is always used to classify the binary class classification problem. Then means the dependent variable outcome either 0 or 1. And next, the binary independent variable can have only two value, 0 or 1, win or loss, pass or fail. Then only logistic regression will work. How it is going to work, that we will see in a while. Okay, so basically logistic regression curve look like this. It's nothing else, it's a sigmoid curve. I guess everyone has used the sigmoid function in engineering, in your M2 or mathematics 2 part. I'm not sure about in which year you had learned, but everyone has learned these sigmoid functions. How it is going to work, that we are going to deal, and how the equation is, what the equation look like, that also we will see. So basically in the sigmoid function, what we are going to do in case of sigmoid function, we are going to set some threshold here. So anything will cross this threshold, then we are going to ensure this is 1, and anything will below this threshold, then that value we are going to ensure identified as a 0. So in this way logistic regression is going to work, and we will see how we can incorporate the mathematical equation and how the model or logistic regression model works. Okay, so at the end you have to apply your model only, not a mathematics, but backend how it is going to work, that you should know. That is the main agenda here. Okay, so next, once this part has done, we'll see the use case, right? What is the use case of the logistic regression? So first thing you can see, exam result pass or fail. Means we are going to pass some input parameter like he or she studied 5 hours per day, and he had done some of the project assignment, everything on time. Then we have to predict, we have to ask with the machine, hey machine, tell me whether he or she will get pass or fail. So this kind of problem. Spam filtering means if any mail is coming from the unknown source, then we have to identify whether this mail is spam or something else, right? So spam filtering, again, yes and no, 1 and 0. So third is that customer segmentation. Means again, suppose means what is that? Suppose you are working with some business profession, and we have to identify whether this particular customer is belonging to our target group or not. Then in that case also logistic regression will work fine. Next, there is so many use cases are there for the logistic regression. Loan scenario means whether I have to give the loan to the particular person or not. In this case also we can use the logistic regression. Hope you understood with the use cases. Now real time scenario, how the in the real time scenario logistic regression is going to work, right? So what is that? See, one thing, if we are going to deal with if we are going to solve some medical problem, means medical problem in nowadays in the healthcare domain also, machine learning and this deep learning concept is using blindly. Okay, so in that case also you can see if any patient is coming to perform some examine for the corona, or you can say cancer predictions, like this patient having this symptom, then I have to ensure whether this patient having corona or not, or cancer or not, anything, right? So in that case also we can apply the logistic regression. And medical science is right now is using widely this scenario, because we have to do some rapid testing, right? So in that case they are going to apply this logistic regression. Also there is a one app like Arogya Setu, right? So in that app also they are using this logistic regression techniques. They are asking some certain question, right? Chatbot is there, they're asking some certain question like you are coming are you travel somewhere, or you having this cough from the last 2 or 3 weeks, some kind of question they are asking, and behalf of that they are going to predict you having the corona or not, like this. So they are also you can say this logistic regression works. And similarly weather forecasting domain also using this logistic regression. Whether means behalf of this different kind of scenario, they are going to predict whether the day will be sunny or storm or cloudy or rainy, right? So this is one use case is there. Yes, hope you understood this. Now coming to the logistic regression, how the logistic regression what the mathematics behind the logistic regression. Let's come into the next slide. So let's logistic regression. So first what we are going to do, we are going to check the probability, means we will pass the input like this. Take an example of corona only. So, and take an example of Arogya Setu app only. So in case of Arogya Setu app, they are asking 5 or 6 questions, right? Are you travel somewhere, or do you have cough, or do you something blah blah blah. 5 or 6 questions they are asking, and out of 5 or 6 questions, some of the question will match to the corona predictions, and 4 and 5 question will not match. So behalf of that question, they are going to they are going to calculate the probability, how much probability that people having the corona. If their probability more than 0.5, then they are going to report him ki you might be suffering with the corona, so please do a testing over there, right? So this is the one thing. So first we are going to calculate the probability of an event, and then based on the probability we are going to mark whether you have corona or not corona, right? So there is a threshold, like I already told you, threshold might be changed, and threshold we can shift anything, means that also we will see what is the appropriate threshold we should keep. Okay, so again it's dependent on the business problem, but yes, you should know what the good threshold we always should keep. Next is what, unlike the linear regression and its a normal equation solution, there is no closed form of the solution for finding the optimal weight of the logistic regression, and instead you must solve with the maximum likelihood estimation, a probability model to detect the maximum. Got it? So what is that basically? I told you, based on the input we are going to identify the probability of corona positive or not. So behalf of that we are going to suggest the people do the testing or not, right? So that's all, means ultimately goal that we are going to calculate the probability. Now how we are going to deal with this basically? So I told you, we have to, in order to perform the logistic regression, we have to set some threshold. In my case I set only 0.5, but in your case it might be different. It might be threshold might be changed. Okay, and what is the optimal value of threshold you should keep, that we will see in ROC and AUC curve. Okay, once I'll discuss about the ROC and AUC curve, in that time I'll help you what is the optimal threshold you should keep. But right now, just understand, for understanding purpose, I just kept the threshold 0.5 as it's the middle of the one. So I kept this, and any probability which is coming less than 0.5, then I will mark that patient as a non-positive corona, means he or she don't having corona. But any patient which having symptom is saying that probability of getting corona is more than 0.5, then I will suggest them please do a testing once. Okay, so this is in this way, like it's going to work here. Hope you understood this now. So just now whatever I said, that it's there, threshold value 0.5 indices that likelihood to pass after 3.5 hour study. Okay, this is the different use case. You can correlate this use case also with that. Okay, so that's nothing else. So next, coming to the next slide, what is that? How the logistic regression, or what is the mathematical equation behind of that logistic regression equations? Now let's coming to the logistic regression. As you know, linear regression, when once we are dealing with the linear regression, that time we had, so whenever we were dealing about the logistic regression problem, so at that moment we found one equation like y is equal to mx plus c. Mx plus c is nothing but intercept, y intercepts, m is what, slope. And we could see some more equation in case of when we were dealing the multiple linear regression, like this bx1 plus cx2 plus d. So these are the multiple regression problem. So we had seen this equation in the case of linear regression. How we are going to convert this equation in form of the logistic? So it will give me either 1 or 0. So what we can do, let's I'll show in the slide only. So let's see equation of the straight line we had already seen in case of when we were dealing about the multiple linear regression. Now my question is that deduce this equation in form of either 1 or 0. So it will give only 1 or 0. So what I'm going to do reducing the logistic regression equation from the straight line equation. So this is my straight line equation, and what I'm going to do in logistic equation, y can be only 1 and 0. Okay, to transfer it to get the range. So what I'm going to do, I just converted y into by y 1 minus y, and so it will give me either 0 or 1. Then in okay, so next what I'm going to do, as its name is logistic, so I am going to apply log on the both side, and then it will give me either 1 and 0, right? Either the value will come under y and 0. So final logistic regression will look like this. Now okay, now there is a one more parameter is there we should know, like a sigmoid probability or sigmoid function. As already discussed in beginning of this video, what is the sigmoid function? Sigmoid function is basically we had learned in our engineering how it is going to work and what is the equation of the sigmoid function. Sigmoid function look like this: 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus 3. And how the curve look like, sigmoid curve is always look like this. If you are going to apply some t value on the this, then sigmoid function will look like this. Sorry, my diagram is not good. Okay, so basically in sigmoid, if you are going to plot this graph on on your graph paper, then this graph will look like this, and there we can set some threshold. I already told you, and behalf of that threshold we are going to ensure whether the output should be 1 or 0. Got it? Hope you understood this, right? So yeah, so next, so st is represent the probability of passing the exam, right? And next, the sigmoid function gives the S-shaped curve, just now we had seen, and the curve has finite limit, that is y can only be 0 and 1. And how the curve is look like this? How the curve is look like this? The curve is look like this. It's a kind of S shape, right? Next, we are coming to the accuracy matrix. As already told you, whenever you are going to deploy any model and whenever you are going to make any model, you have to check the accuracy matrix. In case of linear regression also we had seen accuracy matrix, but in case of classification kind of problem, if you are going to deal with the classification problem, either it is a binary class classification or multi-class classification, accuracy matrix will play a vital role there, right? So how it is going to work, how the accuracy matrix is going to work. Okay, just try to understand in a very generic way. Again, whenever I'm going to teach you something new, again things are going to start with some example, right? So let's suppose try to understand. I have to predict a lady is pregnant or not. Right? So how we can predict this lady is pregnant or not? So we will do some testing with this lady, and with that test report I can say whether this lady is pregnant or not. Same thing I told you, in a healthcare domain we are going to use machine learning algorithm blindly. Nowadays, in the coming era, I am very much sure, 100% sure, doctor will not need there. Okay, everything machine will do. Machine will identify. And even though you can say in this I must say this pregnant predictions cases, in case of pregnant prediction cases, we have so many machines came into the market, right? And that machine is going to identify whether the lady is the pregnant or not. Got it. So yes, so what is that? What is the accuracy matrix? Coming to the point, so basically we will do some testing, and our machine is going to identify whether C is pregnant or not. Suppose C is pregnant, so machine is also saying yes, C is pregnant. But some of the cases, worst cases will come, and might be my machine is not going to identify correctly whether C is pregnant or not. So in that case, if lady is means pregnant, but machine is saying no, she is not pregnant, so machine is giving the wrong information, right? So in order to perform these things, we should know the accuracy. So what is that accuracy? In order to calculate the accuracy, we should know the confusion matrix. What is the confusion matrix? Again, its name is indicating confusion matrix, means it's a bit confusing to understand, but yes, I will try to correlate all those things in a very generic way, so that you can understand and you can correlate this thing with the real time, right? Now what is that? Let's suppose we having total number of total number of data point, we having 165, we having total 165. Got it? We having 165, right? We having 165 patient to identify, to test whether C is pregnant or not, right? So out of 60 out of 165, 60 is actually pregnant, and 105 is not pregnant. 60 is actually pregnant. You can see actual number of pregnant. Okay, sorry, my bad. Actual no means 60 is not pregnant, actually not pregnant, and 105 is actually pregnant. Okay, so now I have to ask with the machine, I have to check my machine performance, whether out of 60 non-pregnant lady, how many machine is going to identify correctly, right? So this is the actual no, actual yes, and this is the predicted no, predicted yes. So I asked with the machine, and machine is saying true negative. What is mean by the true negative? Just try to understand. Means that lady is not pregnant, and machine is also saying no, she is not pregnant. So then it's correct, right? So that is known as the true negative. Means true negative in the sense of what is mean by the, so out of 60, 50 lady is like that, she is not pregnant, actually she is not pregnant, and machine is also saying she is not pregnant. So it's a correct. But out of 60, 10 prediction is like that, falsely positive. Means actually she is not pregnant, but machine is saying yes, she is pregnant. So it's a wrong, right? So false positive, what is saying? False positive in the sense of out of 60 non-pregnant lady, 10 is identified she is pregnant. So it's not correct. So we always as a data scientist, as a machine learner, we should always use this false positive wala parameters. Now coming to the actual yes, we have total 105 lady who are already pregnant, means actually pregnant, but machine is say okay. So what is that false negative? Try to understand. So lady is actually pregnant, but 5 of the cases is saying machine no, she is not pregnant. Again, it's not a good deal. Means we should reduce this count also. Means false negative wala count also we should, because 105 out of 105, 5 prediction is like that, in which machine is failed to identify, right? So we have to reduce. And true positive in the sense of what? Lady is already pregnant, actually pregnant, and machine is also saying yes, she is pregnant. So this is the 100 test case, 100 scenario is like that, in which machine is correctly identified. So that's what this is the known as the true positive. Now coming to the accuracy, which are the parameter are important? You can say these parameter, these two things, true positive and true negative, number always should more compared to false positive and false negative. I already told you. And now behalf of that, we are going to calculate the accuracy. How we are going to calculate the accuracy? True negative plus true positive divided by total. We can calculate the performance of our model. Hope you understood this accuracy metric. For this video, this much only. In the next video, I'll show you ROC and AUC, which will help you a proper threshold, to set the proper threshold value, right? Hope you enjoyed this video. If you really like this video, then please do subscribe and comment over the section. Thank you for watching.